Hey, you there. Thank you for watching and welcome to Forged Alliance Forever. Today, I have a 5v5 custom match here on the wonderful and amazing Necrox's map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our players, starting with Team 1 up here to the northeast and ending with Team 2 down here in the southwest. Let's start here with the frontline player for Team 1. It is Amygdala. He is going first land in Snow White as a UEF. To his northwest, we have the comm of Devil's Touch. He's going first land in Light Oak Tan as an Aeon. And those are going to be the two main Causeway players for this middle lane of the map. For the top lane here, for the northwest corner of the map, we have Buttons. He's going first land in Ruby Red as an Aeon as well. I probably will see some Colossi and probably a lot of Aurora spam coming out of these Aeon players. In the rearguard air slot here for Team 1, we have Alex XXX. He's going first air as a UEF in Royal Blue. Very good choice of faction there. And the slot as well. And last but not least here for Team 1, we have Windows Era going first land, second land as well in Amethyst Purple as a Seraphim. So for Team 1 side of things, for racial makeup, we have 2 Aeon, 2 UEF, and 1 Seraphim. No Cybern players on Team 1. Maybe that will bite them in the butt. Maybe it won't. We'll just have to see. For Team 2 side of things, let's start with the frontline player. It is the Chevy Crimson player of Evil Genius. He is going first land as a Cybern, going for that alliteration with the C's. If he had his name start with a C, it'd be 4 C's, but only has 3. But Chevy Crimson, Cybern, that kind of thing. And his other Causeway player in the middle, we have Kavga. He's going first land in Batman Gray as a Cybern as well. So it'll be 2 Cyberns in the middle versus an Aeon and a UEF for Team 1. Rearguard air slot here for Team 2. We have TV Nobby 2 going first land as a Seraphim in Stitch Blue for that northern. That's not for the top lane. Rearguard air slot here for Team 2. We have Calio going first air as well. A very similar pattern to or build order here for Alex, and he is in Rust. I don't know if I have an adjective, moniker, whatever the term it's called, a name for that color. Let me know down in the comments any suggestions for this rusty orange color. And that will be, of course, he's a rearguard air slot in Rust Orange, and he is a UEF. And last but not least here for Team 2, we have Ravenel. He is going first land, second land, third land, probably fourth air would be my deliberation. Based on the build, not order, but build arrangement here of the map. And again, he's already on the move. He is Aeon and in orange, the color orange. So for Team 2 side of things, we have 2 Cybern, Seraphim, UEF, and Aeon. All the races are represented here for Team 2. Let's take a look at Reclaim here very quick, where we see a lot of players throw a bunch of mass at each other. It is 6,200 and a little bit of change. Probably 6,250 mass here for the game. Not a whole lot of reclaim for the map for our players to scoop up, but there are a lot of mexes, though. Just along the center line for one side of the map, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that a group of 3? No, 6, 7. So 7 groups of 3. Small bunches, and of course a lot of dotted mexes around. So a lot of mass points on this map. Expect to see high amounts of mass per second early on. We have a couple of hunters taking out an engineer that's trying to run away. We have a drop here coming from Alex XXX for this upper plateau. And we've already have a drop, unfortunately for him, for Team 2. Both a drop here from Calio and a distance build here for Evil Genius. It'll be a 2v1 scenario here in the middle of the map. And this group of units, a couple of hunters and a couple of moles, will be able to take out a couple of these engineers for Amygdala, slow down his reclaim and his build expansion for his mexes, and start to push forward in that regard. Let's see, what else is going here on the map? Oh, we can move this little thing away. There we go. We have the comm of Devil's Touch pushing forward a little bit, thinking about maybe reclaiming these structures here. They are Cybern, so, you know, for those of you who love the Cybern civilian structures, they are really cool, though. They have, again, that spiky nature to them because they are, a lot of their designs are featured after, you know, very spiky things, whether it be spiders or whatever the case may be. Even just like, you know, the moles, you have those little 4 legs, or actually 6 legs, and then you have the mantis who have 4 legs. Very, you know, very spidery, I guess would be the theme for the Cybrans. To the west, more units coming into the corner for both teams. Does look like the comm of TV Nobby is a little bit more forward than Buttons, but that can change, of course. Buttons has built a radar installation to get a nice little view of the map. As well as I don't see any other radar. So that, oh, I guess it's radar over here. Dual radar here to the east here for Windows Air. I feel like I don't think you need both. I feel like this one isn't really necessary. You can leave this one here. Maybe, well, there is one here for Amygdala. So I guess these two is just satisfactory. I like the backup, but it's not really needed. We do have a bomber over the top here for Team 1's player of Amygdala going after these mexes and these facilities. But I feel like it's not really going to get anywhere because it's only one bomber. And that's not a lot of damage. So it's going to take a while to chew through those hit points on those structures. So it's going to be a while before they knock that position out. And I wouldn't be surprised to see AA guns or interceptors brought in from somebody and take that out. To the north again, those units slowly encroaching. Buttons did get a nice grab here. Built a decent amount of facilities and is building more all the time. They haven't been given any orders as of yet, but with the incoming units here from TV Nobby, I wouldn't be surprised to see some tanks roll out. The Aurora just kind of spammed up, trying to help assist in defense. And a couple of units here from TV Nobby as well, trying to cut off reinforcements here for Buttons, trying to isolate this northeastern position. But again, that's a lot of hit points to shoot through for a couple of tanks and a, it's not a Spirit, but it's dead now. Apologies for that. My game just alt-tabbed again. Not again, but alt-tabbed. It's done that before, but very rarely does it. So, again, apologies for that. Don't know why that happens. It just happens very briefly. But, again, apologies for that. To the east, we have gun speed and range going down here for Windows Era. And T2 going on the way for Devil's Touch. So one being aggressive, one being more defensive. And a large column of units is pushing that center line here for Evil Genius, trying to halt any progression that Amygdala is trying to make on the ground. Taking out the radar would be nice. Taking out this land facility, of course. It is the closest one to the front line. This is the main base of Amygdala. I keep thinking his base is further back, but this is the main base for Amygdala. It being so far forward, he's got to be aware that he needs to protect it a lot more. He does have a secondary facility down here, but it's not a lot. Building 2 radars isn't really not necessary. But his comm is in the middle of this eastern side between essentially 2 armies, both from Ravendell and from Evil Genius. So it's not, again, not the best positioning, but he's not being surrounded as of yet. But he's got to be aware that it's not the best positioning. These units are going to fall back due to the incoming pressure here from, I don't want to say Evil Touch, but Devil's Touch. A couple of units here from Kavka do come back. They'll take out a couple of engineers and maybe even a couple of mass extractors. But I don't expect them to get a lot of work done considering the incoming forces here for Devil's Touch as well. T2 about to finish here for him. He's rooted to the spot. Can't really assist in defense, but he wants the T2 tech. He wants to build those Oblivion. Those Oblivion turrets again. Always think of Obsidian, Oblivion, vice versa kind of thing. Always flip those two sometimes in my head. Because it's very, very close names. Oblivion, Obsidian, it's fairly close. Units here for Amygdala get wiped out. His comm down here in the south. He's actually pushing south. We're trying to intercept these units here from Ravendell. There are some forces here from Windows Air, but there's not a lot. There's a lot more forces here for Ravendell. I think Amygdala would be better to just retreat and take out these units. And I guess that is his same thought. He is falling back. He does not want to be surrounded, so good on him for retreating when he has the chance. And very similar things happening to the northwest that happened in the middle. Buttons surrounding this plateau and is starting to push on these units here from, I was thinking Alex, but TV Nobby. TV Nobby just kind of sitting here. He should intercept with his units. He's not fairly far away, so he could do it, but deciding not to, or at least not really paying attention at the current time. Could be busy microing other things in his main base. But taking just a nice little snapshot of the match so far at about 10 minutes, about dead even in terms of map control. It's kind of starting to favor one team in the south and one team in the north, but it's pretty much 50%. Team 2 having this position is very important because they can put a bunch of artillery, missiles, and they can take out a huge amount of infrastructure just surrounding them. Pretty much lock out a section of the middle just for themselves. But now we have the comm of TV Nabi being surrounded, not completely in terms of immediately around his comm, but units are coming in from both sides now, and even units trying to edge out here from Devil's Touch. I don't know if this is going to get very well. There's a couple of hoplites nearby. They'll take out Aurora fairly quickly due to the rockets. You can just see just bursts of them taking out everything in its path. But would like to see them spread out a little bit so they don't target both those Aurora. Not both those Aurora, both of them target the same target. There we go. Kind of a lot of overload. Not overcharge. Oh shoot. What is it called? Not over. I forget what the term is called. Not overlord. Not overcharge. Not over. It's where you kill more than is necessary. Shoot. I had the word in my head a minute ago, but I completely forgot it. Anyway, you do more damage than is completely necessary, and you pretty much waste all that damage. But gun speed and range going down here for TV Nabi to the west, and all these forces here from Buttons making, I guess, it is a very critical mistake. They could go after the comm, at least deny the upgrade, but they're deciding to cut out to this little valley area, and because they're being single fire and the hoplites are nearby, it's just lambs to the slaughter at this point. It's definitely not a tactically sound move. You at least should retreat them at this point, but even at this point, all these ones are dead. It's not really going to go anywhere. And now the upgrade finishes. Now this western position here for TV Nabi will hold strong for a while, just with the comm alone, because the Aurora are pretty weak. The Aurora do have the range, but with the increased range with the gun, it kind of gets mitigated a lot. Wall section being built here for Evil Genius, trying to stave off enemy troop movements, trying to force them to this eastern side of this middle lane. Large group of units here for Evil Genius. Decent sized group of units with assisting comm. He does have the first upgrade for the range, has the gun upgrade for the speed as well. So it isn't Aeon Sniper comm yet, but it's pretty close. T2 on the way for Windows Error, and then it's going to build Utashalas. So that is going to be his main goal. It's probably PD creep, which Utashala is very good at taking out T1 units, but not really effective at much else, especially with large groups of T2, and especially because Ravendell is Aeon. He can build the Obsidian tanks, and those can tank a lot of shots. They are really tanky, especially for tanks at T2. And I feel like I'm saying tanks a lot, but they're the tankiest tank in the game in terms of T2, and just because their additional shield, that's pretty much the reason. Because the UEF have the pillars, the Cybrans have the rhinos, and the Seraphims have the hoplites, would be their equivalent. And they're not as tanky. I guess no, the hoplites are more like the mongoose equivalent. Who's the Seraphim equivalent? He has T2. I can actually, well, I have to go to a land facility. But Ravendell is starting to be pushed back. Windows Error not pushing the advantage with his commander, only pushing with just a couple of units to get a nice breathing room for his additional Utashala. I mean, yeah, you could build those and they'll stave off for now. But once T2 and T3 comes into play, it won't really matter. Speaking of that, Air for Team 2 has completed here for T3, as well as has Team 1. Alex has T3 Air as well. Oh, and T3 Land has been completed for Kavga. Not a lot of mass, and he already has T3. Must have been focused that severely. Left his main position and pushed forward. And this is going to be a very big threat for Team 1 to deal with. Having Loyalists at 14, 13 minutes. It's very early. These blazes, I guess the blazes would be the equivalent for the pillars and the whatnot. But again, it's the shield alone that allows the Obsidians to be the tankiest tank for T2. But with these increased firepower with the Loyalists, It's going to be very difficult for Evil Genius to hold this position. He is building obsidian turrets as we speak, trying to bunker down. It would be better if he was playing UEF, who are known for their turtleness, but you know, Aeon's not a bad choice. Their obsidians are really good, and obviously their volcanoes are the best, so TMDs. Amygdala leading his forces, reclaiming as he goes, trying to scoop up as much mass as he can. Does have the gun upgrade. Doesn't have anything else. Would like to see probably T2, maybe build some facilities here, land facilities, build up some more T1, T2 units. Has pillars, of course. Pusher to the east here from Windows Era, but it does look like he has a... Oh, does he have any T2? No, he doesn't. Neither does Ravendell, but Ravendell will come with his comm. Of course, he has the regular range upgrade and the speed, so with his comm, he'll be able to force this push back. Pretty much two-shotting everything he comes across and overcharging as he can. Maybe three-shotting. Maybe it's more three-shotting, but and yeah, he's just lured those units forward and then is using his comm to get the veterancy. Very good play there. He already has one rank. Wouldn't be surprised to see him get another one or another two of them here fairly shortly, especially considering the fact that we have Windows Era pushing forward with his comm, going after engineers, which I guess you don't want the engineers building any more defenses, but a little bit risky with your comm. Could have had the overcharge go into this one and then focus in the other one, but we're splitting hairs at this point. But we have T2 units and T1 units engaging here for both teams on the eastern side of things. We have pillars and rhinos and bangers and a whole bunch of stuff here, but Amygdala is outnumbered. He split his units up a little bit more than he probably should, and now those units here from Ravendell are going to fall back to the west and assist pushing up northward. And I don't think this position here for Team 1 is really going their direction. Both the comms are on the front lines. The comm of Evil Genius is still in his main base, or falling back to his main base, and Ravendell on the front line. So it's a 2v1 scenario for comms, but a lot more emphasis is being put on producing units, and that is pretty much favoring Team 2. Obviously, Windows Era has his PD. It's not going to amount to a whole lot if Team 2 starts producing a mass amount of T2 units, which we already see this one. I think this is building the T3 as we speak, which would indicate that T3 has already been achieved. Yep, it has already been achieved. Harbingers are starting to appear. This is very dangerous here for Team 1's comms, both Windows Era and Amygdala. Amygdala does have a shield, which is surprising because Windows Era does not, and he's Seraphim. Has a couple of Ilshis, but this huge force won't really matter. Trying to force the comm back a little bit, create kind of an exclusion zone here to the east. It's not really looking good. ASFs fly over the top here for Team 2's player of Calio. We haven't seen a lot of air for either team. Both team does have T3, but aren't really pushing a whole lot of it out. I mean, we're only, I guess, 18 minutes in, and no comms have died sub 20 minutes as of right now. Don't want to jinx it as of yet. Don't want to miss anything. But it's not rare, but it's uncommon for someone not to die. We are talking about players here from 1200 to 1800, so not some of them are pros, most of them are Joes, but they are experienced. So they got to know at least at some point strap bombers are going to be a case, mass gunships are going to be a case. They got to start retreating a little bit. Ravendell falling back a little bit. These forces here from him going to fall back to this position, try to secure this forward production facility. There's 5 facilities. This one upgrading to T3. This one already at T3. Should be producing Harbingers. This one is producing Harbingers. A little bit farther back. I like it because it's protected. The downside is it takes longer to get there. But I don't think this push here from Windows Era is going to amount to a whole lot. His Ilshis are leading the charge, but there's PD back here. There's a bunch of Aurora. There's Obsidian tanks. There's not enough forces, and there's even bombers over the top here from Calio as well. Not really going to work out the way he wants to. Amygdala rooted to the spot on an upgrade. Has paused it, but does have a shield nearby. I don't think he has the power, maybe? Doesn't have the power, that's why it's paused. And that's why the shield is off. He just needs a T3 power generator, and he can solve that right quick. But now this middle plateau is starting to be a major threat with all of these Gunthers. There's even a T3 radar. There's more Gunthers going to be built as well. So Team 1 needs something to deal with this. It's going to be very dangerous to walk around this center plateau. Missiles trying to puncture this position here for Devil's Touch, but just a couple of volcanoes deter a lot of those incoming missiles. So it's just the power of the Aeon with those volcanoes, with the little flares that pop out. Now the Rhinos doing lots of damage. Lasers very similar to the Cerberus. Don't fire as fast, but does have the same coloring, and it's like the same acid as well. There is a Titan here for Amygdala. Actually, a couple of them, actually. Don't think... They're very good at taking out T1 units. Even in large numbers, they're very good at... You can see how fast they destroy Mantis. But the Rhinos do have a lot more hit points. The amount of firepower that the Titans put out isn't a whole lot. I guess they're mainly more designed for taking out structures and T1 units versus units that can fight back. But a couple of Titans do come back on the southern side of this plateau and have distracted a decent amount of mantises. There is a couple of bricks, but they can't chase the Titans, unfortunately. Titans move quicker. And there is a push here from Kavga with a couple of bricks and a decent amount of Medusa trying to shove Devil's Touch out of this position. But a couple of Oblivions isn't going to be enough, unfortunately, here for him. He needs more support. He needs maybe some gunships. He needs something to stave off enemy incursions. But shield going down. The T2 upgrade does finish. Another push from Windows Era to the east. Not really a whole lot going up here in the northwest corner here for Buttons and TV Nobby, but pretty much about to stay the same. It's not enough. T3 units making a huge amount of hardship here for Windows Air. He doesn't have the tech. He needs Othams. He needs shield generators. He just needs more forces, but he's just being outnumbered, especially charging into main production lines and PD. The PD are behind the production facilities to soak up some incoming damage. I love that. Yeah, it puts the facilities under threat. However, it does allow for more hit points to be soaked up, unless you're microing them a lot better. A drop does occur to the east with a couple of Harbingers. I wonder if he'll just like run them up the side of the map, I wonder. There's 3 of them. They could do a decent amount of work. We'll check back on there in a couple of seconds. But the Titans get back here. They're assassinating some mass. They're trying to dodge incoming Stinger fire. They'll run into the Calm of Evil Genius, and then they'll die off. The shields are not online. It still looks like Amygdala is suffering some power issues. Definitely a disappointment there. But at least he was able to kill a group of mass extractors. So, better than nothing. In terms of mass production, we have Team 1 at 774 and Team 2 at 873. Oh, wait, hold on. The number keeps changing. Hold on, was that power issues? It must have been power-related issues. Okay, so now the numbers are actually accurate. Team 1 is in the lead with 957 mass per second, and that's a lot. That's coming from Alex specifically. He has almost 100 more mass than anybody else in the game, and that's... For the air player, that's a little dangerous. You could see him maybe going for artillery, going for a lot of strat bombers or gunships, because he has so much more mass than his opponents. And just his team overall, he's able to wield it a lot more heavily than his teammates. But bricks, rhinos, missile launchers just puncturing Amygdala's main front line, and he's going to be forced to retreat once again. He's going to lose that radar that was on the front lines, not protected by anything. Definitely needs to fix that. There's another radar here for Team 1, however, so they're not completely blind on the eastern side. There are some Harbingers puncturing the front lines, though, and Amygdala has to retreat at some point. He's going to charge forward, takes out some rhinos, a lot of mantises. They'll single fire target on, or they'll target coordinate against the Titans. They can't fire fast enough against all that incoming threat. Amygdala trying to take out some units here from Ravendell, but it's not enough. And the Mantis is going to push forward, take out all of the the Lobos, and a couple of the engineers as well. And then Amygdala will be forced to retreat. And this has to make Windows Air fall behind as well, because if he loses his western teammate's position, Team 2 can easily come in, flank him, corner him, and kill him. But he needs to retreat, and especially with this column of Harbingers on his way, he needs to fall behind even quicker. So there's a Titan that's going to die. Just a couple of bricks. It should retreat with Amygdala's forces, but maybe just doesn't notice it. There is a land facility that was built, but didn't really get anywhere, unfortunately. This position will fall, and Team 1 will be forced to retreat. This eastern side was dealt a serious blow by a bunch of Harbingers that we saw earlier. A couple of Autumns roll in. They'll take out that Harbinger with... Oh, it will take out two... It will take out two of those three mass extractors. So it took out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mass extractors. I think 2 of them were already offline. But definitely worth the cost in mass for those Harbingers. Kafka and Devil's Touch is kind of in a base war scenario. A lot of AA here for Kafka, wanting to protect himself against any bombers or gunships. But you can just see the amount of threat that these evil geniuses, Gunthers have. You know, this is the range, which isn't a whole lot, but this is just an exclusion zone at this point. Nothing that Team 2 builds can be put in this area because it'll just be annihilated. Would like to see some missiles, though. He has TMD, but there is a missile here for Team 2's play of Calio. So, you know, would like to see a little bit more from Evil Genius because a lot more of his infrastructure and defenses are here. But at least somebody is using that advantage. And Team 1 doesn't really have any TMD that I can tell off the top of my head. Oh, no, building Bell's kill. Okay, so trying to stave off that threat. But broadswords called forth here from Alex. There's not really any AA here for Team 2. Kind of an oversight. At least not even some like T2 flak to take out these gunships. These are broadswords. They are T3. They are pretty tanky. 6,000 hit points. Very similar to their land brethren of the Perseus. They're designed for high hit point targets. They deal lots of damage on their shots. Feel like the Stingers are the reverse, where they're like the Titans. They have a lot of fire rate, but very little damage on each individual shot. And obviously they're weaker too. But the broadswords are focusing not the Titans, the bricks. Trying to reduce the enemy brick wall here. Bombers over the top. Where's Team 2's air? Well, Calio is sitting down here. Pings are going down, probably by Team 2's player of Evil Genius saying, we need air support. Now the air forces are called in, and they're going to target the gunships. That would be my guess. Yep, they are targeting the gunships first. The ASFs for Alex, now they're engaging, but... Oh, no. They got tricked. They went to the east, and the air forces for Calio went to the west, and they'll escape. Ooh, that's... hardly any ASFs were lost in that engagement. But the ASFs will now retreat, and now they'll go after the rest of those gunships. They're not out of danger quite yet. They should be protecting those bombers, but they're not. Build mobile AA says buttons. Oh, it actually says Calio. Chicken says buttons. Yep, that experimental was finished. To the west, it was a chicken. First experimental of the game is a chicken. Usually it's a monkey, but it does look like both of our Cybran commanders are focused more on T3 ground forces and base wars. Which, no, isn't a bad thing. Does look like Alex is in the lead for air control by a decent amount. We have 63 versus Calio's. Oh, those are Ravendels. Those are not Calio's. Yeah, Ravendels is 11, and Calio. Dang it, I had to switch commanders. There we go. 10. So it's pretty much a 2-to-1 advantage essentially. And they're coming in, by 2s and by 3s, so they'll just be wiped out fairly quickly. Protecting the broadswords, of course. Alex almost loses all of them. There is a bouncer in here. They'll deal with the rest of those gunships. But this huge force here from Amygdala, he's pushing again, but Titans versus Harbingers really only goes one way, and it does not go the way of the Titan. So these Titans gotta fall back. It's not worth throwing all this mass and energy at this force, especially on this side of the map. Gunships are not going to go on a mass, not a mass assassination, not mass in terms of, the general public or a lot of people, but mass in terms of, the actual mass extractors here for Team 2, specifically for Evil Genius. Now there's a huge group of T2 mass fabricators. They're dual ringed here. This would be a huge grab for these broadswords. They're going to go after Kravkas, though. I feel like that's a missed opportunity. These could easily die. There is a SAM site nearby, but the shields were down for a second. I think Evil Genius has sorted his power issues up. But yeah, they're going for Kavga, trying to take out his effectiveness here to the northwest. Devil's Touch and him have been locked in a game of just base wars for probably at least 10 minutes now. Amygdala has fallen pretty far behind. He's turning back around, though, trying to hold his position. Doesn't want to retreat quite yet, but all of these Harbingers, there's a lot of them inbound. There's a lot of Harbingers inbound. How many we got? 40 Harbingers? Pretty much Team 1 needs to mount a lot of PD or an experimental, and I feel like neither of those is really a good option, because by the time they build that much PD or experimental, it's not going to matter a whole lot. Even some AA in there will take out these bombers. Team 1 pretty much their only advantage is air right now, and the main attention here for Alex is taking out mass, which, to be fair, he's taken out a huge section of the mass extractors here for Kravka. I think almost all of them here in his main base are gone. Still has a couple of T2 kind of dotted around, but check out his generate 40 mass per second. Yeah, that's a huge amount of loss. But Amygdala under threat from all of those Harbingers. Will he die before 30 minutes? It's going to be close. We'll turn the camera a little bit. We get a nice little shot of the incoming threat from those Harbingers. See the little sticks. Have little tiny little stick legs. Kind of remind me of stick bugs. Oh shoot, what's their other name? I forget what their other. I keep forgetting words. Watch, I'll like finish the cast and I'll be like, oh yeah, that's the name. And that is a kill here for Team 2, dropping this game to a 5v4 in their favor. The Harbingers will move into the east, and Windows there that you should be going the other direction. You should not be going forward. You should be going backward. And it's not really going his way. I do see an experimental built. It is a Colossus here on the western side. The monkey that we saw building earlier, I should say, is going to be online, but I don't think it's enough to hold this threat. But to the east, that's where a lot of the action is happening. I noticed there is some attacks here from this chicken to the northwest. We'll check that out here pretty quickly after we're done with the Harbingers to the east. But Windows Era is retreating. Didn't even finish one of his Utashalas. And he calls for some Authors to try to assist. 2 experimentals are built. He does finish experimental. It is a chicken. He needs to command that immediately. Needs to walk that forward right now. Walk his commander back. I feel like that was an unnecessary risk to build those Utashalas. He should have known that those Harbingers move pretty quickly. Authams trying to stave off any incoming threat, but it's just not enough. There's just too many Harbingers. Windows are trying to get out of there. A column, I should say, of Harbingers are trying to cut off the comm. They intersect with the comm. The Authams are gone. There's nothing here to save Windows Error. Will the Harbingers get a second kill? A couple of T1 bombers come in. They miss most of their Windows Error. You stop moving. You gotta keep moving. Oh, but he's gonna die anyways. Oh, that's gotta hurt. And then the chicken shows up. Had the chicken been built or had he been walking a little bit more, he probably would have survived. But now control of the chicken will transfer over to Buttons, which will halt its movement. And some of these Harbingers will actually probably get away. But to the west, another push from Team 2, this time from Evil Genius, going to probably attack the old base of Amygdala. I see that chicken is still online. Oh, actually, it died due to Oblivion and I think Gunship fire. Where did those gunships go? They all die? I think all those gunships died. Oh, there's some of them over here. Okay, a lot of them died. The Harbingers are going to be chased, though, on this eastern side. Team 2 gets a huge victory on the eastern side of the map. 2 comms are dead. Drops this game, of course, to a 5v3 in their favor. They're winning a decent amount of ground here to the north. Team 2, as of right now, they're in the driver's seat. They have more than 50% control of the map. They have this center plateau, of course, a huge bunker here, as well as, I mean, they have to deal with some broadswords. They need just AA, and then that'll go away. So Team 2 right now is the favorite to win, at least on my vote. ASFs are called in to deal with the broadswords. Alex probably should retreat those, or at least use them as bait to take out the enemy ASFs. Broadswords are expensive, but taking out enemy ASFs and controlling air is definitely a price to pay. Another chicken pushing that front line. I do think I saw a Colossus being built, but it's not going to be built here. Oh, no, it's finished. Okay. It's like I thought I saw one being built. But these gunships will take out a lot of these bouncers here and then go after the bricks. The chicken will assist in that effort as well. But the P-Gen is gone. The T3 one at least. A couple T2 as well get destroyed in that explosion. The T3 naval land headquarters here for the UEF from Amygdala is still online. Team 1 still has access to UEF tech with Alex, so they're not going to lose it entirely, but that would have been a huge grab here for Team 2, locking that out, at least on the front line here for Buttons. I wouldn't be surprised if Buttons gives control of this eastern side to Alex to micro a lot better, or even to Devil's Touch, so he can manage like the ground game, and Alex can focus on the air game. But having your focus split between 2 or 3 lanes, not really that effective. Couple of Harbingers take out a couple of emplacements, but the chicken kills the Colossus and also kills some civilians in the process. But man, I feel like that Colossus could have won that fight, but I guess there were additional forces nearby, so that definitely hurts. But I think there's another Colossus. Yeah, that one will finish. That one will kill off the other chicken. So net positive here for Team 1, and more broadswords. That's a lot of broadswords being built up. 35. It's starting to get not some critical mass, but it's starting to be a dangerous amount. A lot of missiles incoming. Deal with Mechs. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. And it doesn't even matter because that position was taken out by missiles from this position down here. The shields are gone. How's Evil Geniuses? Oh, nope, he's stalling for power. But I think he's gonna fix it. He's building some flak as well to protect himself. Good position there. Has T2 radar, T3 radar here for for Devil's Touch. And these broadswords will be brought forth to deal with the incoming chickens. They're actually pushing all the way back in the main base. What are they going after? Are they going after the engineers, maybe? Or maybe the production facility for said chickens? Oh no, they're targeting the SAM site. Oh, not the SAM site, sorry, the AA defenses. The Seraphim do not have SAM sites. They are not the point defense, they are direct fire shots. ASF's engaged, trying to protect the broadswords as best they can. They're targeting the engineers now to halt the AA production, but it's just not enough. All those broadswords will be taken out. Those chickens are just grouping up together. 2 versus 1 for the Colossus. This one pretty much fairly healthy. That dropped into the yellow, but very briefly, I think. At least I thought. Oh, there it goes. Okay. But the first chicken does die. The Ironstone will go off. The Colossus trying to avoid that. Some friendly fire from that Ironstorm. Colossus will turn back around, wants to avoid it, and then the broadswords will finish off the chicken. A decent amount of mass for both teams to group up, pretty much on Team 1 side of things. So it's decent. It's a decent amount of mass. There we go. Apologies again. I clicked off the screen there, so apologies. But there is 65,000 mass. That's a decent chunk of mass in that little window that I had open. Man, the broadswords. Alex just... Oh, wait, hold on. What is this? Oh, that's a Duke at 36 minutes, and he's building a Maver, so he's committed to the long game. Alex has thought he wants to end the game. He wants to end it with Artie, and he's going to do it. That's his goal. He's already built 1, and he's going straight for the Maver, which usually you build 2 or 3 Dukes, and then you build the Maver, but mass Maver, says Alex. Yeah, that will come in handy. The faster that finishes, the sooner they can take out a lot of the infrastructure here for Team 2. And the Artie is actually going after this bunker position. There's a couple of Autumns nearby, just taking a lot of Gunther fire unnecessarily, and a couple missiles as well. Oh, takes out a couple of Gunthers. The shield will probably fall here pretty shortly. From shields are not the best. The Duke misses a decent amount of shots, though. It's not... Is it fully ringed yet? No, it is fully ringed. Okay. Doesn't have a set of targets. The shield does go down. Take out the Omni, please, because that's a huge, juicy target for them to take out. Oh. There it goes. Takes that out. What? Hold on. No, that's Team 1's. That's not Team 2's. I thought that was Team 2's for a second. That's an Omni station. Team 2 definitely knows about it. They haven't killed it yet. Why? Why? It's not like you don't have the units to do it. This is everything that Omni station can see. So you probably should take that out. It is a 20 by 20 map. Can't see everything, but can see a decent amount of the map. It's definitely should take that out. As I fly over the top, we have two experimentals, a third one in the back, a chicken and a Colossus, mortal enemies. But they are teaming up this game. I do love the fact that in this game, because of the different factions, the way their color design is different. You can tell the chicken is a lot more glossier and the Colossus is a little more matte. Just due to the design, of course, of the units, of course. But they are the same color. So it makes it look like, from this view, they are two different colors. It's just cool, though. It is cool. Let's see, is there anything else going on? Don't see any other huge developments. We have a couple of Colossus up here as well, guarding the passage through the middle up there. The Gunther battery's still being pumped out. The shields are down. A couple of volcanoes go down. Devil's Touch, how is your power doing? You don't have power. Probably should sort that out. There's a power station up here from Alex, but not over here. This position might actually fall to Gunther fire. Not really looking good. There is a chicken nearby, though. And it looks like maybe, well, some of it's being targeted, but the shields do come back online fairly quickly. Too far, says Alex. Don't know what that's about. Even more gunships being spammed up here for him as well. What are we at now? 70. Oh, I think he's talking about the Duke. The Duke does not have an unlimited range like the Maver does. You can see this is how much he can hit. Not everything on the map, not the core air facilities or anything like that, but he can target Evil Genius's base, which probably should be the main target, honestly. But he's going after units? Maybe he's going after mass extractors. Maybe that's what it is. But it looked like he was going after those bombers and Corsairs as well. The bombers want to engage, but they notice that it's a little too close. There's two Colossi and a chicken versus a monkey and a crab. Feel like they're going to focus the monkey first. The AA gets sucked up by this one. Looked like it was going for both of them. But strap bombers come over the top. Deal lots of hit points to the Colossus. And the combined fire, the beams are crossing with additional fire from the chicken. The first Colossus will fall due to AA and ground pressure. But the second experimental here for Evil Genius will fall, and then they'll sweep up the rest of these ground units. ASS for Team 2 grouping up, want to engage the ASFs here from Alex, but they get away too fast. There's a huge push to the east here with a bunch of Harbingers and a decent amount of AA, and there's even a Colossus in there. There's a huge push to the east. Does Team 1 know about it? Oh, they know something's coming. Oh, at least they killed off that Omni, though. Team 2 did. That was just weird that it was still online. There's Autumn's in retreat. They're underneath shield coverage, trying to stave off enemy incursions, but with the lead Colossus, it's not really looking good. Where are those gunships? Where are those air support? Well, there is a air for Team 2 here from Ravendale, which sounds like Rivendell, but obviously it's spelled differently. Okay, done. Looks like Kelly had to go somewhere. Kelly's Equal says Devil's Touch, probably talking about Evil Genius. But this push is getting fairly close. Gunships are called forth, and the horde of gunships is on its way. There's a couple of ASFs fighting over. The ASFs are distracted. They're not going after the gunship horde. Alex is using his ASFs now as bait, giving his gunships enough time to get there. And do they notice the threat? Well, gunships are gonna reach there. Ooh, it's gonna be close. Let's zoom in on all these gunships. Oh, that's a lot of gunships. Look at this. Look at this. Isn't this just look at this, just coming over the plateau here. There's already some there. AA opens up, and now they're just going to delete everything in their path. They're going to focus on that Colossus. How fast will they kill it? Well, its hit points are probably falling fairly quickly. There's even some... I was going to say James, but ASF. The ASF fight engages over top of that land army here from Ravendale. Oh, it doesn't really look like it's going Team 2's way. A lot more ASFs survive for Alex. Get a nice engage. The ASFs do turn around. They'll lose air. I think these are all Alex's ASF, though. These gunships need to fall back underneath AA coverage, but their main push from Ravendale on the ground gets destroyed. There's actually another Colossus back here, so maybe there's still some hope for him on the ground. That way, don't need that. But all those gunships are gone. The gunship horde is gone. Well, there are a decent amount of AA presence here, so this ASS will start to diminish quite quickly, and probably more and more being built all the time. There's nothing to... Well, I guess there is a chicken. So will the chicken be enough to take out the Colossus here on the eastern side? I do need to want to look at the western side push happening with Buttons and TV Nobby. But there is a decent amount of Utashadas as well. And Otham's... Oh, Otham just got sucked off. Parashield got destroyed. Well, I guess mobile shield generator. It's... I guess with the assistance from the Utashadas, I think it's enough that chicken will survive. Oh, the shield generator gets... Oh, okay, it survived. It's like, oh, it's going to get crushed, but it's fine. The push here to the east gets just kind of petered out and will just retreat. They were hoping for that Colossus to punch through the front lines. How's that Maver going? Well, it is half done or half alive. I feel like it's more... Or, yeah, half dead or half alive. Take your pick. But half alive... It is moving in a positive direction. A lot of shield coverage. A bunch of miasmas. Looks like there was a fight here with a bunch of chickens. There's even a Colossus still alive down here with some Harbinger support. They'll take out the chicken. And then there's only T1 Zooies, which isn't going to be enough to take out this Colossus. You need a lot more. Maybe, honestly, the already... I mean, it does do a decent amount of damage, but on mobile targets, it's kind of hard to really hit. And now the Colossus is going to start to retreat, move out of the way. And all these miasma, man. That's a lot of area. They can... Most of these are here, but that's a huge area for the western side. Copying what Evil Genius did on the middle plateau here. And the Artie still raining down on Evil Genius's main base. Trying to keep those shields alive as long as he can. And with the assisting hives, it should be fine. I don't see any issues there. I do see something down here. The Rascoms are retreating. They're going... Oh, they're building... Ooh, they're building a Scathis with assisting hives. But TV No Baby control Ks. Such a poopy game, says TV Nobody. Not Nobody. But Nobby. Looks like he just didn't like the outcome. Was being pushed off here to the northwest. Mass from Maver says Widow's Air. Yep, to the east. That's a lot of mass. Still surprised that Buttons hasn't given control of the east to either Devil's Touch or Alex. But it's not a huge issue right now. That push to the east was the huge issue, but that was dealt with. But it is disappointing to see somebody exit just because it wasn't really going their way. They're not completely out. They still had a base and stuff like that. But, yeah, it's starting to be, of course, taken out. But I don't think... I mean, the SMD up there is very risky. And not short-sighted, but it's going to finish a missile and then die. Not really something that... It really shouldn't be up here, specifically. But a bunch of T2 gunships, these Spectres built from Ravendale, copying what Alex is doing with Gunship Rush. And even T3 gunships here from the other airplay of Calio. So, we have 2 air players here for Team 2, 1 for Team 1. But in terms of mass per second, Ravendale... ahead of Alex. Team 2 in general is actually ahead of Team 1. Buttons is the largest generating player for Team 1, and Evil Genius inheriting the base here from TV Nobby will boost his eco quite significantly. Kavka still under 100 mass a second, but he hasn't quit yet, and I feel like Kavka had more of a reason to quit versus TV Nobby. At least Kavga had, there's a lot of infrastructure that was killed. He's very regulated to just kind of being there kind of thing, and sometimes that's very disheartening, but he's still in it, and he's still chugging along, so props to him. How is that Scathis doing? Oh, it's almost in the yellow, almost in the green. How's the Maver doing? It should be pretty close. Oh, it is. It's in the green. I would suggest, Alex, that, yeah, you have the 3 corner shields. Need more shields. Need more shields, and just have that, be forever in the description of every single video. It doesn't matter what structure you're building, doesn't matter what you're doing. Shields, and more shields. And then even if you have 100 shields, you still need more shields. But a nuke finishes and launches here for Team 1. It's from Buttons. Where is this one going? I can see the trajectory right now. Oh, it's going for the air grid here for Calio. Is there an SMD? Oh, there is one. It was just built. It's not going to finish in time. Is there any SMD nearby? There's one in the base here for Evil Genius, but that's out of range. One here for Ravendale, but that one's out of range. The Artie is making an effect here, puncturing some of the outlying shields, taking out some Mexes and mass fabs, but oh, that nuke is going to land. That's such an oversight. Why didn't you build something right here? Oh, it's going to hurt. Here comes the nuke. We're tailing off all the little symbols. Nice little view of the incoming destruction. Kaboom. Takes out the comm and a bunch of Rascoms as well. Ooh, that's got to hurt. Ooh. And that will be a first official kill here for Team 1. Drops this game to a 3v3. It is dead even now. And in terms of match generation, now Team 1 is in, well, it's roughly, must have been, I saw 5.3 and was like, Paragon question mark? But no, it's not. A little bit in the lead. I'd say pretty much dead even. Scathis is up, says Windows error. It is up and it is moving. How was that Maver? Is that online? It is online as well. It gets its first shots off first. That might make the difference here. Another push to the east. There's a lot more AA, though. I do love that. And that will be kind of hard to deal with. But there are Authams and Rascoms and Ravagers and a chicken. So that push isn't going to go anywhere. The Scathis opens up its first volley. It's building an SMD. Well, not it, but they are building an SMD. Evil Genius is nearby. How's that Maver fire incoming? Well, one lands there, kind of short. But it looks like it was probably targeting the... Is it target? Yeah, I think that... No, the Maver's targeting the air grid. That's an interesting move. Usually you would go after the Scathis, but a land push here from Devil's Touch gets into the main base here for Evil Genius. That is a huge loss here for him. Crab goes down. Yeah, it looks like the Maver is targeting this first. Don't know why. This is the huger threat. They know it's online. They know where it is. They can see it. They can literally see it with the eye. So, it's kind of a weird play. We're at 50 minutes. So 2 game enders, about 50 minutes. It sounds about right. Scathis fire starting to do a number. Some of the shields are starting to buckle. Alex falls back a little bit, builds more shields. Like I said, you need more shields. Now the Maver should target the Scathis first. Once you get into, like, both teams have Artie, the Artie pretty much gets locked into one another. Laser is done, says Evil Genius. Now the teleporter is starting. He's going to have Telemazer here pretty soon. The shield is down around the Scathis. There's only one of them. The shell impacts, takes out the Scathis in one shot. Ooh. Ow, that's got to hurt. 23,000 mass for him to scoop up. And a lot of the Rascoms are severely hurt. One Artie shell will take out, I think, the rest of them. There's even a sonar platform just kind of walking or swimming around. Ooh, that's got to hurt. I just want to see if these Rascoms will go up in smoke. Nope. Oh, come on. I just want to see the pretty explosions. No. Okay, looks like the target was retasked. A little disappointment, but not too bad. Air Grid's still online here for Team 2's player of Ravendale, and he's spamming up some Strat Bombers to deal with this incoming threat of Harbingers that are now gone. But the Artie is targeting air? That's weird. And Maver, the SMD, says buttons. Yep, that'd be a good idea. Maybe that is what he's targeting, just he's missing? Well, the Maver is pretty accurate. Oh, I guess that's just the range of both artilleries. They're just able to hit just this section for some weird reason. I don't. Maybe he's trying to edge it out with the artillery, maybe, and then retasks it. Okay, see, that's a little better. The shields will start to buckle. Will... Oh, he's gone. Hold on, he's gone. Where? Well, oh, he's up here. What is he doing? He's building a sonar platform, so he'll see the comm for sure. Knows the comm is there. And it's going to build some... Oh, he has them on hold fire. So going to build a bunch and then open them up all at one time, not giving buttons enough time to retreat. Oh, that's a core area. You can't lift comms with that one. Needs to be a T2 star lifter. But oh, that's going to hurt. We'll check back on that in a second. Does buttons see him at least? He sees the torpedo launchers. He doesn't see the comm. Oh, this is gonna... Oh, it's gonna hurt in a few seconds. Maver still tasking on taking out infrastructure, and I think it's going after the comm of Kavga. Kavga keeps moving. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I feel like... Oh, no. Maybe. Oh, yeah, no. It's going after the comm, straight up. Shield goes down. Kavga not dead yet. Scout Evil's comm is not shielded and out of water, says Windows error. Well, actually... No, it's not. No, it's not out of the water, and it's not shielded is correct. Out of the water is incorrect. It's up here. Is he going to build... Is he just going to launch him now? He might teleport away first and then do it, but he might finish... He's like, it looks like enough. He's going to start teleporting away, going to give the... changes the locations, I guess. Here they come. Here comes all the torpedo launchers. Oh, how many hit points? That's essentially half. Another volley comes in. And kaboom! Kills the comm. Button says, oh my goodness. That was a nice snipe here. Definitely something a little, not rare, but it's not as common to see that kind of snipe. But man, oh, he's like, look, the comm's up here, but it won't matter. Evil's already halfway loaded. Oh, that's gotta hurt. Love, says Kavga. And then, talking about, he's teleporting back down here. 2 Czar, 2 Nuke. This is Buttons saying, like, hey, like, this is the situation. I love the camera feature, because you can just, even if you're not on comms with, like, Discord or whatever, you can say, look, I have nukes here, I have the eye here, I have this building here, like, very quickly. T3 Aeon facility grid says Buttons. Oh, yeah, T3, yeah, for Harbingers. But we have 2 Czars built. We have actually 2 nukes up here. This one about to finish another one. And now it's a 3v2 in favor of Team 2 once again. And it looks like a lot more momentum is headed in Team 1's direction. Control of the eastern side now has been gifted over to Alex. Should have been gifted over a little bit ago, but anyway. I guess now that Buttons is dead, Devil's Touch is like, I don't want to manage 3 fronts. I'll just manage 2. So you can manage the eastern side. And it looks like Team 2 still has air control. They're not using it as much as they probably should. 250 ASF and essentially 60 strat bombers. Why aren't they know where the comm is. Why aren't they going after the comm and or the Maver? Like, they know where it is. Yeah, there's a decent amount of AA. They can get through that, though. With 60, bring your 250 ASF in. I feel like if Ravendale punches through, just sends all of his ASF, all of his bombers in to Alex, he can kill it. There's enough bombers. There is a decent amount of shielding, but I think there's enough bombers to puncture that shield. But I feel like the more time goes on, the more and more that opportunity slips through their fingers. Kavga is coming back. He does have a monkey. He's building a couple of them, actually. And building a nuke as well. I don't know if that's going to last very long once Team 1 notices it. Oh, they just noticed there's something there. Not really anything like specific. But in terms of reclaim, wow. Almost 500,000 mash reclaimed by Team 1. A lot to do to that eastern side and that western side as well. And in terms of Team 2, 436,000, that's a decent chunk as well. That's almost 2 Paragons, with Team 1 very close to 2 Paragons. But let's see, that's mass and storage. I don't know what that. Team 1 is winning the mass game now at 2.2 versus 1.8 for Team 2. Team 2 still at total mass accrued, winning by 200,000. I just see all these strap bombers that go, you could use them, but he's not using them. I am seeing a push here from Devil's Touch in the middle. We have 3 Czars. We have a couple of crabs. And the crab is actually produced. Well, I think it produced a brick, but then it stopped. But another nuke gets launched. Where is this one going? Oh, it's going for the ASF. That would have been a nice target, had the ASF not moved. But I feel like trying to nuke air is not really worth it, honestly. More Mavers puncturing the air grid here for Ravendale. And it's just, the seals are staying online, but it's not going to last very long. The gunships engaged. They're targeting all of the AA. There's a lot of sniper bosses just get eradicated. But the Czars will come in. There's a lot of flak. They're starting to deal a lot of damage to the broadswords, though. It's just not looking good here for Team 2 on this middle lane. The nuke goes off, maybe kills 1, if that. But the Czars focusing down the Colossus. That will die very quickly. Redeemers are brought forth to deal with the ASF as well as the large bank of SAM sites. Gunships are falling back more and more. ASFs from Team 1 are brought forth. There's a lot of ASFs now here for Alex. 239 versus 175. They're taking out the Czars. One of them dies. The second one dies. The third one is still online. Nice engage here by Alex, getting in behind the ASFs. Getting a lot of kills, actually. You see them still in range, at least some of them. But we will have to stop moving forward, though. Gunships moving in to take out the rest of the land forces, though. I feel like the ASFs are going to attack once again, but now Ravendale has only 128, half of what he had. And Alex still has probably over 200 minimum. Oh, no, 300. He has 300. Never mind. But he's going to call those back. Spy planes come over the top. They will be dealt with fairly quickly by the air defenses. But the broadswords here are taking out the bricks, not targeting the AA. Kind of an interesting move. But I guess when you have 6 Colossi, you're like, let's take out land forces first. Doesn't really matter. Man, that's a lot of... And this crab is almost dead as well. You could just take out the crab. Don't know why they're not. Take out the crab. Come on. Only like 6,000 more hit points. Strap bombers over the top. They take out 1 Colossus. 2 of them almost destroyed, so almost half of their force is immediately annihilated. I mean, yeah, strap bombers on defense, pretty nice, but you could take out the Maver. And I feel like that's the debate going on in Ravendale's head. Is does he use the strap bombers for a push to take out the Maver or a calm, or does he use it to stave off enemy ground forces? And I feel like at this point, it's kind of a toss-up. You do have a lot of forces on the ground, though, here for Team 2. With 4 monkeys against 4... Oh, essentially, I should say 2 Colossi. It's only going to go one way. But they are focusing the crab. Probably a mistake. Maybe. They'll probably get the crab. But they probably could have gotten 2 monkeys for it. But going to be it here. A large land force here that was coming to reinforce a lot of Harbingers. They have to retreat. To 4 monkeys, that's not going to go very well for them. Broadswords being used as bait, trying to goat the air forces here from Ravendale to engage, and they take the bait, and that's going to hurt. Another air fight over the top of the middle of the map. Of the turns side here with Alex, he will gain air dominance, and they're in the middle of that ball. Ooh, that's it. That's the air control here for Team 1. Oh, they gained it back. They had it very early on. They lost it, and then they got it back. Oh, man, that's got to hurt. They're just pummeling those ASFs. The strap bombers pulled back. I see a Novax, though, going after, I think it's the SMD. The Maver firing on everything. feel like that's kind of wasted. Both the comms here for team, or two of the comms here for team 2 in the water next to each other. The Scathus is almost finished once again. Oh, you need the shielding first though. Don't know if this is the move. Well, at least it's a move. It's just you need the shield. Yeah, you need the Seraphim shielding first. There you go. That'll protect you from some Maver shots, but the Maver's still coming in all the time. Scathus is almost done though. It's only 1,000 more hit points and that's it. And the nuke does land, take out a section of that infrastructure. GG, shame for it turning into a Maver game. Oh well. I mean, but you had a Scathus too, so it's not like one team only had game enders. Your team had it, just didn't have enough shielding. Ravendale will go up and smoke. It'll deal a decent section of hit points to that Scathus though. Oh, that's just, I don't know how I feel about that. Could have walked away a little bit, then control Cade, but a lot of hit points just gone. That's going to make it a lot weaker to stand up against that Maver. And we've seen that one shot from a Maver will annihilate it. And it does look like Scathus will stay pretty close to being finished, though. Evil Genius is retreating. Lost a lot of those hives, though. So it's now just Evil Genius versus the world here. The Kafka's still here, too. And he is contributing a decent amount with all of those experimentals he built. There's 5 of them now up here. Being shot at by a space laser. Not a space laser, sorry, a donut. Not a space laser. But oh, this isn't good. Those strap bombers they're gonna engage, but they're not gonna, they can't target. What are they doing? They can't target the Zara. It's not even like the Scathus, not Scathus. The donut's on a higher plane than the bombers. They can't even target it. The Maver takes out that assisting facility. That Scathus is just going to sit there. I still feel like Evil Genius could finish it, but I don't think he really wants to at this point. We are at 1 hour and 1 minute. We have artillery coming in from Team 1. I didn't even notice 3 emissaries. We have a pair here. Yep. Wait. Okay. Hold on. So you're telling me that Devil's Touch built 2 nukes, 3 emissary, obviously a whole bunch of experimentals. Gifted all of that over to him, to Alex just now. And a salvation. And just now he builds the Paragon? That's like a slap in the face right now, is what that is. It's like, look at all the mass I had. I'm going to build everything else that could easily be built with a Paragon first, and then build the Paragon, because why not? So we'll see 3 of the 4 of the game enders in the game here. And the salvation going after the Maver, the Colossus. Colossus gets a rank in vent, though. Almost died. Will it die to artillery fire? It honestly might. Salvation comes in once again. And, oh, one more round. There it goes. Actually, I think it died to Autumn's. Man, that was, that's just mean. Using artillery fire to take out an experimental like that. That's just mean. We have a chicken moving forward down here on the southern side. This air facility is pretty much wiped out. A lot of Team 2's infrastructure is just kind of spread out. There's no really centralized control. We have this one here for Kavka, but that's it. I feel like once the Maver and Salvation targets it, that is it. And I just spoke of it, and usually if I speak of something, it usually happens. The shields are starting to fall around it even now because they're upgrading as we speak. You can see all that hit points for those shields just being annihilated by the Salvations. Shield coverage around the nuke is not lasting very long. There's even some P-gens, and it wipes everything out. Even emissaries. Kavka is on retreat once again, and I feel like I can speed this up just a tiny bit. It's really only going one direction. We even have a Duke taking out air facilities. Oh, ouch. Ouch, that's gotta hurt. But wait, hold on. Where'd the comm go? Oh, it's up here. Oh, it's building some, he's building some missile launchers. Okay, so the thing that somebody should have done ages ago, which is go after either the comm of Alex or the Maver itself, happening way later than it probably should have. But there's just so, that's a lot of SAM sites. That's a lot of SAM sites. So I feel like that was built not halfway ago, but Not right now. Kill another Colossus on the ground. That one got decently close, but the closest one was this one, and that one died a long time ago. But now, artillery fire raining down onto Kavga, or maybe just any positioning. He's taking a little bit of shots, but not a whole lot. He's still alive for now, though. Chicken just walking around the map. They're taking out SMD. They want to use their nukes. At least Team 1 is. How is the missile building going? Well, he has a couple more to build, and then he'll wait for them to be filled up, and then he'll launch them, and then that'll be it. Man, oh, there's one stork down here just in case somebody decides to teleport in there once again. But man, this position here for Team 1's Alex, man, I feel like to give him the MVP of the game, he had those gunships that were very effective. That push to the east was annihilated by them. Early Duke, decently early Maver. I mean, pretty much the same time that the Scathis was. I wouldn't say super early. A lot of SAM sites being built here for Kavga, trying to eliminate the air here for Alex. That's pretty much all he can do. The Artie is just, oh, it's literally trying to target Kavga, I feel like. Man, that is just, one says, Evil Genius 1, maybe 1. Like, that's the target one? Like, I don't get it. Evil Genius now is over here. He's building a stealth. He built a stealth field gen. Now he's building some hives. Does Team 1 know about it? Oh, they see a unit and they see a couple structures. Okay, once they see it, so they can see it, they just aren't paying attention as of yet. But the Paragon is finished. The third of the fourth. Game Enders appears. The YOLO is the only one that is missing in this game. I love to see all of them in one game, but I don't think we'll see that one too. Says Evil Genius. Oh, he's saying comms. Okay. But, yeah, I think it's because of that, the Omni. Yeah, it's because of the Omni. He can see it, so the stealth field doesn't do anything. So a little bit of luck here from Devil's Touch. He built the Omni pretty close to where Evil Genius teleported to. And honestly, he could have built it right here, but just didn't notice it. Explosions going on. Rascom's dying. They're targeting. I think Team 1's goal at this point is just targeting all infrastructure, I feel like at this point. All those artillery shells just landing all around the map. Just look at them all. You can see the line of Salvation and the line of Maver Fire. Look at them all. It's insane. A lot of Rascoms heading in the water. And look, that's an Aeon one. That was from Ravendale, but something in Russian. Don't know what it says. Oh, I think it's whatever. Yeah, whatever this says. So if you wanted to know what this phrase says, I think it's this. Yeah, Cybern, huh? You guys would be busy changing the water into Breckman's brain jar. But the comm of Evil Genius goes down. I guess he tried to teleport once he was found out, but didn't really go anywhere. As the late had being the key word there. Thank you, Windows, for pointing that out. Love that. But yeah, it's just, I feel like Team 1's goal is now to just kill everything. Kill for win. Says buttons. Yeah, so I'm gonna speed that up just a little bit, just to give a little bit more speed. And then the gunships are brought in, and that is going to be game. Thank you so much for everybody for watching to the end of the video. Please like and comment down below what your favorite moment was. Let me know what you thought about tactics and strategy here for both teams. I do think, honestly, that Alex does deserve the MVP for this game. He built the artillery. He pretty much took out the Scathis by himself, obviously due to the Maver. He held off the pusher to the east from Ravendale with all of those Harbingers and, of course, that Colossus. That pretty much saved the eastern side of this map for him. He probably would have still survived if this position fell, but this gave him a buffer zone. It made up a lot of a way of being like, I don't need to focus on land that much. Build up a couple of Ravagers and that chicken that was built eventually, but that was it. And again, thank you so much for watching. Again, he didn't win it for his team alone, but he definitely was a huge contributor to the win. So I'm going to give it to Alex. And thank you so much again for watching to the end of the video. Please like and comment down below. And if you haven't hit that sub button, that little red button down below the video, I encourage everybody who hasn't done it to do it. This is the first video you've watched a bunch of my videos, you've been enjoying the content, I just encourage you to do so because it shows your faith in me to produce this type of quality and better. And it just motivates me to keep doing more and more, keep getting better. And again, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. And I will see all of you wonderful people, and hopefully, especially you, in the next one.